But welcome. Thank you for joining us today. This is a great day for Michigan State Athletics. In Michigan State Athletics, we are family, not just a collection of individual teams and units. And while we are gathered here today to celebrate a new addition to that family, it's important to recognize that some members of our family are grieving, as this morning we received tragic news of Adrian Payne's passing. To all members of the Spartan basketball family, his teammates and coaches, his family and loved ones, the thoughts and prayers of Michigan State Athletics are with you. Spartan hockey has a great tradition with a history of winning championships and developing student athletes that move on to the NHL. That's the reason this hire was so important to me. The foundation of success is absolutely here. And it's the reason you've all joined me here today to celebrate not only the hiring of Adam Nightingale, but also a renewed commitment by the department and the community to support Spartan hockey. I couldn't be more proud to select Adam as our next head hockey coach. At the start of this process, I met with the entire team and later met with a smaller group of 8 student athletes. We talked about what they wanted in a head coach, someone who develops personal relationships, a newer style of play, puck possession, faster transitions, and aggressive attacking offense, and most importantly, skill development. I'll be honest, I didn't know any of those terms before this search. Next, I formed an advisory group of Spartan hockey alums. 2 of them have joined us today, and Mike Porter and Justin Ablocator. They helped me gain a deeper understanding of college hockey. They agreed with the criteria the current student athletes put together, but also had some additions. A coach who could unite the Spartan hockey community, bringing all eras together. Finding a new coach who understands the new era of coaching, which is preferred by student athletes, and someone who understands the way recruiting is done now. What was very, very clear, and Justin and Mike will let you know this, the next coach did not need any Spartan ties. They just wanted the best person to lead our team. Beyond the advisory group, I spoke to many more people in the hockey community to gather additional feedback and input. Some were Spartans, some were not. They included NHL head coaches, people in NHL front offices, and other hockey insiders. I'd like to speak to the alums which are here today. Thank you. You are a passionate group and an engaged group. You are proud of the program's tradition, and you want our current student athletes to succeed. I couldn't have done this search without you and your honest feedback. And I promise that as a department, we are committed to helping restore Spartan hockey as the premier program in college hockey. I'd also like to recognize Deputy Athletic Director Jennifer Smith for her assistance through this process. Jen, where are you? She and I took the feedback from the various groups as we interviewed multiple coaches, including a few with experience coaching in the Frozen Four. The candidates also spoke with Mel Tucker, Tom Izzo, and Leah Johnson, as I thought it was important for current coaches to provide feedback that this hire fit into the culture we are building each and every day. In the end, we looked at the criteria, and Adam Nightingale had everything we were looking for. He places value on relationships with players. He will reestablish Spartan hockey in the recruiting world and understands the key relationships which are needed. He will bring an exciting brand of hockey to the newly renovated Munn Ice Arena. And certainly not last, he excels in player development. Adam, we are excited to watch you succeed. And please know that everyone here today is in your corner and equally invested in the program's success. Please join me in welcoming Adam Nightingale, his wife Kristen, children Trevor, Emerson, and Keaton to the Spartan family. Adam, I'd like to present you with the number 8 jersey representing the 8th head hockey coach here at Michigan State.
Super humbling to be here. I know that Alan opened up talking about the passing of Adrian, and I think, these moments are great, and it just reminds all of us how precious life is and to never take anything for granted. I'm super privileged and humbled. I want to thank President Stanley, the board, Alan, Jen, the whole search committee. You could tell it was a really thorough process, and that was really important to me. They were doing their homework. I remember when I met with Alan, that was really important that I said to him, if I'm here because I'm an alum, I don't want the job. I really think Spartan hockey is different. And I believe the community and the alum all understand that. Super thankful for the players, the current players that came out today to support, and just want to let you guys know I'm super excited about working with you. I think there's a lot of good pieces there, and we're going to keep pushing you guys and to develop as both players and people. As far as our, my family is really important to me, and I think you don't get here without an unbelievable support system. And even the community I grew up in northern Michigan, in Sheboygan. I lived in Marquette in the Sioux for a number of years, and I look back how thankful I am for those roots being grounded. It was never about your job title. It was never about how much money you made. It was about how you treated people. And obviously I got my mom and dad, Ron and Debbie here, my in-laws, Jim and Joyce Johnson. Unbelievable support system. When you're a coach, it's a busy schedule. And a lot of the burden of raising a family at times, they say it takes a village, and it's really true. The last 4 years I've gone to Europe for a month when the season was done to help be a part of USA Hockey and Men's World Championships, and not one time did they bat their eye at helping. I've moved our family all around, and my in-laws have never said, "What are you doing with my daughter?" They may have thought about it, but been supportive. And then I think for my aunts and uncles that have come out, the support they've given us, and then for Kristen and the kids, I mean, they've been unbelievable. And Kristen is the rock of the family, obviously the looks of the family, the smarts of the family. And then Trevor, Emerson, and Keaton, you guys have always supported, and when you're coaching, some days I come home and I know maybe upset or whatever, and you guys have always done a really good job, behaved most of the time. And then Keaton, come up here for a second. Come here. Come here. I just love this suit. He's got some swag to him, so I just want to show the whole group that in case you saw it. So grab a seat there, Keith. Thank you. To the alumni that are here, and it's been overwhelming. Guys that I've both played with, that I didn't play with, it's unbelievable the support, and it means a lot. It means a lot to me. I know how much it meant for all of us to put that jersey on. And Alan talked about it. I think it's really important to unify the group and be one. And I'm excited about putting our best foot forward and returning Spartan hockey to where we all know it belongs. To the donors, Alan mentioned the new facility. It's unreal, like the best in college hockey. And I know when you make decisions as a donor, there's a lot of things you can do with your money. And one of the things I always respected about being a Spartan is I think it's team people, selfless people. They don't do it to get the credit. They just do it because they know it's the right thing to do. So I just promise you that new addition, we're going to be great stewards of that area, and it's going to be spotless, and it's going to look brand new, and we're going to respect it. And then any donations in the future, please know that those will always be used to help the student-athlete experience and make sure that we're putting our best foot forward so they can have a great experience. Just to get going, and obviously I'm thankful for all that's been done before. I've mentioned it with, you look at the lineage of coaches that have been here, some of the best in college hockey, if not the best, and the groundwork that's been laid with the work that was done on the interior of the rink with Tom and Astis did an unbelievable job getting that dialed in, with the work that Dan's done to get the ball rolling with the renovation. That's a huge thing, and really when you're talking about building a program, it takes a huge group of people, and we're going to bear the fruits of a lot of hard work that went into that. But now we need to be better, and it starts with our culture. Every place I've been, I'm not saying I'm a perfect coach, but every place I've been really proud of the culture we've been able to establish, and it's one that aligns with what I think Michigan State is. It's one of humility, but with a ton of confidence. It's one that is selfless. It's not about any one guy. It's never going to be about the coach. It's never going to be about one player. It's always going to be about the team. It's about accountability. And I think, these are words that get thrown out, but truly wanting to be held accountable. And I'm going to put together a staff that holds me accountable. And I know that I'm not perfect. And I know that our players aren't perfect. But I think a lot of people talk about accountability, but really open yourself up to say, hey, I need to be better. Competitive. When I think of Spartan, I think relentless, compete. And that's something you can control. And so every day, every practice, every day in the weight room, every game, we will be the most competitive team in college hockey. I believe the score will take care of itself. And then the last piece is passion. I think it's our job as coaches and the staff we put together is to create a culture and an environment where guys can't wait to get to the rink, and then you're peeling them off the ice after practice. And again, I go through the different experience I've had from coaching the best 14-year-olds in the world all the way up to the National Hockey League, and I am confident that is the case with the teams I've coached, and it doesn't mean it's easy. Actually, we're going to practice really hard, and we got a lot of work to do. But those pieces of culture, and I really believe with culture, it's quotes are great. Giving a book assignment to the team's great. Bringing in a speaker, we'll do all that type of stuff. But it's a daily decisions by our staff and our players, because once you establish a culture, you need to maintain it, and that'll be number one for us. The second one is reestablishing recruiting. Michigan State is and will be A players. We're going after the best players. We are not taking a back seat to anyone. You look at the facility we have and the coaching staff that we're going to put together. This is a spot where I want every guy we recruit to truly believe and want to play in the National Hockey League. I understand that not every one of them is going to do that. But if you have to have that mindset. If you want to come to Michigan State, this is a place that develops you for the National Hockey League, and we earn that reputation by the way we develop our players. I think building relationships with advisors and not pushing them off. I have great relationships with them, and I understand that their goal is the same as ours. It is to help the player improve and maximize their potential within the team framework. So we are going to embrace advisors. NHL teams, same thing. Player development guys, we want to use them as resources. There's a lot of great minds that can help, and for us to stand and think that we have all the answers, again, it has to work within the team. We are going to reach out, and we're going to be open to, again, forming a plan that is best for the individual that ends up helping our hockey team. Player development, Alan talked about it. I feel fortunate. You first get into coaching and you're trying to find your way. I started out at Shattuck St. Mary's, and there was a coach there, Tom Ward. Best coach I've been around. He's a fundamentally based coach. It's not about him. It's very challenging, his practices. He has a high standard. You look at all the guys in the National Hockey League that he's developed, and you'll never see him tweeting about himself or writing an article about himself or self-promoting. I've always admired that about him. But really, when you're starting to find your way in coaching, you can get a lot of stuff that's not true thrown at you, whether it's about self-promoting, it's about bragging about yourself, and Tom, right off the bat, there was none of that. And so that's where my foundation is in player development and all the roles I've been in. That's really been the goal of it, and even all the way up to the National Hockey League. You know, Jeff Blashill gave me a chance and promoted me as an assistant, and that was my task. Is you have these 4 players, Dylan Larkin, Anthony Mantha, Tyler Bertuzzi, and Robbie Fabry, and you're responsible for helping them get better. Alan mentioned it, when you're talking player development and getting the most out of people, I do believe in relationships. I do believe that when players come to the rink, they know that the coach sees them as a person first and a player second. That was something my parents instilled at me at a young age. They shouldn't look in the mirror and see a hockey player. I shouldn't look in the mirror and be a hockey coach. It's the person first, and I think once you connect and you know the player knows that you care about them, that's when you can really start to help them out. As far as the way we will practice, it is not going to be a short-term development mindset. And so I've come in from the national team, and we played 19 college games. We didn't dial it back on Thursday because we know where these kids want to get to. You want to play in the National Hockey League, you have to have extended, prolonged periods of time and high intense practices. So we're going to practice that way. So to the players, that's going to be our mindset. We're not saving it. We're not going hard till Wednesday and then coming down. Going hard till Wednesday and then coming down. It's going to be pedal down in a good way. We're not getting on, they're not just skating to skate. It's not going to be senseless work, but it's going to be really hard work. And then Alan mentioned style of play, and I've been exposed to a lot of really good coaches that have taken the time to mentor me. I do believe that you need to play, when you're talking player development, you need to play a style that's both advantageous for player development and you can still win. And our players are going to be comfortable trying to make plays. We play a game of mistakes. Mistakes are going to happen. It's how, that's life. It's how you respond to those mistakes. So we're going to create an environment where we play smart, we play fast, and we play hard. I think identity and style of play is more than systems or structure. I think it trumps everything. I talked to Coach Izzo about this during my interview, and you know, one thing I've always admired from afar is you could put an orange jersey on a Spartan basketball team, and you walk in the middle of Kansas, and you would know it's Michigan State. You would know. They're hard, they get to the inside, they rebound. And so, for me, that is what Spartan hockey is going to be. We will have a clear identity. And it's playing the game smart, it's playing the game fast, and it's playing the game hard. The last piece that I think, the fourth thing that's really critical, is engaging and unifying the alumni group. I believe a head coach's job, systems, tactics, those are all great. Power play, penalty kill, love, I'm a hockey junkie. Really, your number one job is to unify the group and make it a team. And I feel that way with the alumni in a university setting. We've had a variety of coaches, and every one of them, every single one of them, I'm super proud that they're a Spartan coach. And whether wins, losses, they gave everything they had. And that's part of this whole building thing. And I think for us as alums, it should never be about, you played for Coach Amo, you played for Coach Mason, or you played for Coach Anastas, or you played for Coach Conley, or played for Coach Cole. We're all Spartans. And whether you're an All-American, or a guy like Zach McClellan that had 0 points in 42 games. Where's Zach at? Is he here? I actually, once things slow down, Zach. No, once things slow down, Zach, I actually want to go back and watch all your shifts. There's no way you can go through a whole season. Something had to hit a shin pad or bounce off something to get a point. But Zach's a prime example. Everything I just said on establishing a culture is Zach. And that 07 team won. And it was never about Zach. It wasn't about his playing time. And I just think that that's what Spartans are. Like Zach's an unbelievable Spartan. And whether they would have won or not, regardless if you won or not, unbelievable Spartan. So just to finish, so those four things, I think once you do all those and you focus on those on a daily basis, and we get a staff together that I'm going to lean on heavily, then you start talking about winning. And I know that's why we're here. I know that's why we got to that point. That is what we're going to do, and we're going to get Spartan hockey back to where it belongs, and that's at the top of college hockey. Thank you. Go Green.
we do have some time for some questions from members of the media.
Coach, can you talk maybe a little more in depth about your approach towards recruiting? I mean, obviously you can be the best coach in the world, but if you don't have the players, but what's your approach to recruiting? And I heard that like you were out on the road already doing some recruiting before all this even happened.
Yeah, I mean, the part about me, I guess that's your job, you know what I mean? You just go out and do your job, but I'm working through putting together the best staff. And the guys that I'm looking at, and we're working through, we've had over 150 people apply, and I think that's really critical when you're talking about recruiting, is identifying assistant coaches that both have a track record or a personality that can connect with people. You know, I want our staff when they're on the road to do things with integrity. They do things with honesty. They take time to talk to people. They're representing all of us in a great way, and then it's going after the top guys. And the other stuff that I talked about there, I think that's really important. Style of play really matters. I'd like to think the fact that I've coached in the best league in the world matters. If I'm a guy that wants to play in the National Hockey League, and you have a coach that is not just watched it on tape, not just read a book, not went to a coach's, he's on the bench and coached. And again, not claiming to be a perfect, but I think there's a ton of merit in that and using those. And then the facility, and even the facility, I think it's unreal. Like the best in college hockey. The goal is like Torrey Krug, you know, he would shoot at this wall. He didn't need like a fancy room. Those are guys that make it. And I think that, yes, we're going to use it, and I think it's every resource, but it's identifying the guys that are self-motivated and driven to be the best.
Anything else for the media?
And I know the summertime around MUN has always been one of those times where the NHL alums come back, and you talk about player development. How much is that feeding off those guys who came before play into your system and using them to help bring guys along?
No, it's huge. That was one of the things Alan and I talked about, and I know they have it at basketball, the alumni, you know, the locker room. And, you know, for our guys, you know, coaches can tell guys all the time, and you know, you hope you're in their trust, but it's way more powerful. If you get Justin Abdicator to come in and talk to a guy, I mean, it's worth its weight in gold. And then to see how they work. You know, I think that's the thing I said, I want every guy to want to play in the National Hockey League, and you should believe. The reality is it's like really hard. And the commitment it takes, not just what you're doing at the rink, but what you're doing away from the rink, lifestyle decisions, diet, sleep, all those things tie into it. So that's one of the best compliments you can give a guy like Abby. I would say he's a great pro. Like if someone says you're a great pro, that's like the highest compliment you could give. So as many of those great pros, and we got a ton of them, that can be around our guys, I think that's huge.
Anything else?
I only have one thing, sorry. Just to the media too, I think it's really important. I understand how important you guys are in this. And I understand that I might do things that you don't like, and there's going to things that happen, but when we're talking about making it the best program in the country, the way you guys cover our team matters. And I know you do a great job and you're fully invested in it. Just the age that we're recruiting, I mean, that's a critical piece. And you're not going to always agree with the things I do. I get that. That's, you know, what you sign up for. But the professionalism, and as an alum, I've watched it I think it's really awesome the way this team's covered. I think it's unbelievable. So I just wanted I'm excited about working with you guys, and I understand that's part of us getting it back to where it should be.
I think we're good.
All right. Thank you.